Hey everyone, it's Junaid from Meninfluencer. Hope you look good, feel good and are ready to prosper, because in this video I want to talk about how to be mysterious to attract people. And when it comes to the mysterious topic, for some reason you guys absolutely love it when I talk about it. Every single video that I make about being more mysterious or cold-hearted gets so much love that you guys pretty much force me to make more videos like this. And also, if you're someone that is new to this channel and would love to see more videos like this, please consider to the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you have any sort of amazing video topic when it comes to videos like this, please leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to cover that topic. Anyways, with that said, let's jump into the video. The number one is make eye contact. And when it comes to making eye contact, it is probably the fundamental thing when it comes to attraction. Whether you're trying to be mysterious or not doesn't really matter, because eye contact is something that creates a connection subconsciously. And when it comes to being mysterious, but at the same time trying to attract people with eye contact, there always tend to be some sort of misunderstanding. Because if you're someone that wants to be mysterious, you want to reveal less about yourself to make the other individual more curious about you. And thus some individuals feel like that if they prevent eye contact, they're revealing less about themselves, because our eyes are our windows to our soul. And thus this way you might be thinking that if you're holding eye contact, you're revealing too much about yourself. But the reality is that if you're someone that doesn't hold any sort of eye contact, you'll end up looking shy and insecure. And that's the last thing you want, because when it comes to attracting another individual, the last thing you want them to think is that you're too shy, you're too insecure, and they end up looking down upon you. And another reason why eye contact is extremely important is that when you hold eye contact, you end up triggering emotions, and this way subconsciously you end up connecting on a deeper level. And by the way, who tells you to hold eye contact for a very long period of time? We can simply always give them a death stare like this one. And yeah, I'm really good at it because I have to take those YouTube thumbnails. And then pretty much after that you can look away or look somewhere else and you're pretty much finished. You've held your ground, weren't scared to hold eye contact, and in most instances this way your eye contact will come across as more powerful. Number two, be calm. And this is one of those things that most individuals screw it up with, because once they tend to like someone and they want to impress upon someone, they try too hard. But at the end of the day, the harder you do your best, the less the other individual will appreciate that, and that's just the way it works. And thus it's very important to be calm, stay collected. There's no point of just jumping around, trying to impress the other individual, talking like this, coming very close and say, yes, do you actually like me or not? Because at the end of the day, this will creep that individual out. Be calm and collected, be relaxed, and this way they have to put more effort into the conversation, or generally speaking in you, to understand you or get to know you. And thus, since they're putting more effort into you, the more they're gonna appreciate you. And I understand that this can be quite a hard step for a lot of us, because as humans we like to be an open book when it comes to talking about ourselves, because who doesn't love talking about himself? But at the end of the day, the more you reveal about yourself, the more the other individual knows about you, and the less interesting you become as a person. And you might be asking, how can I prevent talking about myself if I'm someone that doesn't really know what I should say or what I should talk about? And that brings me to number three, obtain interesting knowledge. And the reason I'm mentioning interesting knowledge and not just general knowledge is because you want to end up having interesting conversations about a certain topic. And the way you can have these conversations about those topics instead of focusing about yourself, which makes you less mysterious, is by gathering a lot of knowledge about that particular topic. Doesn't always have to be something that you're not interested in while the other individual is actually interested in it. It can literally be anything. And when it comes to individuals, they're really good at having conversations with other individuals. They jump from topic to topic, and thus it's very important to get as much knowledge as you can about interesting topics, because this way you can jump from one topic to the other topic and then to the next one. And I understand that you might be curious as to where you can find interesting topics, and it really depends on you as an individual, your age, what you're currently doing at the moment, and simply what you're interested in. So taking myself as an example, I'm currently an economics student, so I've also got a digital newspaper called the Financial Times, and every time when there's any sort of news going on, I always try to read a little bit about it, and this way I obtain some interesting knowledge that I might use later on when having a conversation with another individual. But obviously I understand that not everyone loves to talk about financial stuff, and thus I occasionally also read books, and this way even if the other individual individual doesn't read books, you can still have some sort of conversation about it, whether it's the book itself, the topic that was mentioned in the book, and maybe even the characters. And talking about characters, another great thing is to watch a few Netflix series, because this way you have tons to talk about, especially with the younger generation, because every single one of us watches series or movies from time to time. So you can pretty much find interesting knowledge anywhere and educate yourself. And this brings me to number 4, ask questions. And the reason that I recommend you to ask questions is because this is a perfect way to lift the weight off your shoulders and put it on the other individual, because now they have to answer your questions and they have to invest more in you rather than you having to invest in them. And at the same time, they're also revealing more about themselves, which makes them a little bit more vulnerable because they're opening up to you. And this way, they end up investing more in you than you end up investing in them. And besides all of these amazing reasons that I've just given to you why you should ask questions, another reason that it's very important to ask questions is because at the end of the day, you want to get to know the other individual. And when it comes to asking questions, make sure they are open questions rather than closed questions where the other individual only has to say yes and no, because this way it will be a lot easier for them to answer those questions. And if they only have to say yes and no, they're not really investing as much in you, and the quite opposite happens because you're putting so much effort into asking those questions while they're only replying with yes and no. You end up putting more effort into the conversation than them. Number 5, make them smile. Wait, you're talking about emotions? I thought that we mysterious people don't show our emotions. I mean, if that's the way you want to live, that's upon you. But when it comes to me, I want to be someone that's mysterious but still a happy person. And there's quite a controversial part about being mysterious because you don't want to always smile, and the reason for this is that you don't want to reveal too much about yourself. You don't want to show too many emotions, but at the same time, you don't want to come across as someone that doesn't have any sort of emotions. You don't want to come across as someone that's quite a weirdo or maybe even a creep if you don't show anything and you come across as a zombie. I mean, it's fine if that's what you want, but if you want to attract other individuals, it's very important to still smile, make them smile, because at the end of the day, we as individuals appreciate it if we're surrounded by someone that can make us feel better, because being mysterious doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be charming at the same time, because you can have both of best worlds. You can be someone that's very charming and everyone adores, but at the same time, be someone that's really good at not talking about himself, because you always have interesting topics to talk about instead of you, and this way, the focus is never on you, but on the topics or other individuals. Moving on to number 6. Change the topic. So I've already covered this slightly, but I do want to go more in depth when it comes to changing topics, because it is very important if you're someone that wants to be mysterious but also attract another individual at the same time, because believe it or not, changing topics is a very important social skill that most individuals don't even look at, because we've all had those awkward silences where one of the two parties wanted to talk but they didn't know how to change a topic without it being very awkward, because at the same time it's not only the changing when it comes to the topic but the topic itself as well, because sometimes some topics can be quite controversial and you're not sure whether you can have a conversation about it with a particular person. And that's why I put more focus on this particular point, because if you're someone that's really good at changing topics, you end up coming across as more confident, someone that is quite intelligent and knowledgeable, because you can talk about so many topics, and this way other individuals will think that you're very smart. And another amazing thing about changing topics is that the more topics you change, the more our perception of reality and time changes. And this way, if you're someone that has talked about a lot of topics in a very short period of time, then that time period will feel a lot longer than it actually was, and this way it will feel like that both of you got along really well and you created a deeper connection, or at least had a very interesting time. And moving on to number 7, be in control. And hey, I'm not here trying to tell you to be the most alpha male ever, try to be the most dominant masculine male ever, because does it really fit in our society nowadays? Not really. What I am telling you is that you need control over your mind and your body, because if you're someone that wants to come across as mysterious and at the same time wants to attract another individual, you can't expect to achieve those two things if you're someone that's not even able to control your own body and mind. And the reason that I'm telling you to control your mind is because this way you know what you're talking about, you know that you don't want to talk too much about yourself, because this way you'll come across as less mysterious and thus the other individual might find you less attractive. And when it comes to controlling your body, it's very important that you're able to hold good eye contact, or someone that's holding good body language, so you're not afraid to take a little bit more space, because you're someone that exudes confidence rather than someone that's very insecure and shy and standing more like this. So those were 7 tips on how to be more mysterious to attract people, and I hope you genuinely found it informative. And hey, if you're someone that would love for me to make more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and also leave a thumbs up for for the YouTube algorithm. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate your time and hope to see you on my next video. Bye bye.